All right. Hello, friends, and welcome to a new reading vlog on my channel. So, recently I read Alien Tyrant by Ursa Dax, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, I'm going to buy the rest of the series right now, and my next video is going to be me reading through the next 3 books. So hi, welcome to this video where I am going to be reading through the next 3 books, starting with Alien Enemy, the second book in the series. I already read the first, I don't even know how many pages. I was really excited to hop into this, and so I just started reading without telling you guys anything. The first 47 pages. Ooh, let's go. This one is about Chapman, who was the military girl from like the first book, and Follow, who is the enemy from the first book. So I thought that was really interesting, really exciting, and I wanted to see more of it. One of the more interesting parts of this so far is the fact that we are kind of starting from the very beginning all over again, and it kind of makes sense because when we were in Cece's point of view, she like went off with Brode and that whole plot, you know, and so she didn't really get to see what was going on with all the other girls and how they fared during this time. And so in Chapman's story, we are telling the story of what happened with all the other girls, basically, how a whole bunch of these alien guys had swarmed on them, somewhat kidnapped them, but also like the very first thing that happens is they take them to the healers to make sure that they're all okay. So I mean, yes, you're not where you're supposed to be, but simultaneously you are in a better place. And then the sort of, neither one of them knows what's going on between Chapman and Follow. Most particularly Follow, though, because the last thing that I read was a scene in which, like, he gets so annoyed at himself for being attracted to Chapman that he just goes outside and throws, like, a knife. He just, because he's so annoyed, he just tosses it. And I am excited to see how this develops because I know from the ending of the first book that when Cece finally arrives, Chapman is going to, like, save Follow's life, whereas right now they're very antagonistic towards each other. They, like, don't really know what to think about the other. I'm excited to see the language barrier in this book in particular because we don't have Cece. My light is dying. Just straight, if I turn it off right now, will it really make, it does make a little bit of a difference. We'll keep it on for a little bit more, but it's actively dying because we don't have CC to translate, and at this point in the story she only knows like a couple words, but that's still better than everybody else, you know. I am excited to see the language barrier. I'm really hoping that we're not going to get some sort of like magical translation again, but if we do, I guess I'll be okay with it. And I think that is all that I want to say before I hop right back into it. I was like, I need to put this down so I can talk to the camera, and then I needed to record video game things. So, but I'm ending that early tonight because the video game that I was playing was putting me to sleep. It wasn't boring. It was just, where is this hair? It was just, slow and not a lot was going on, and I was just like, listen, I need to go do something else. That's something else being Alien Enemy. Wow, okay. When my little light thing is at full power like this, I can't see shit. I can like just barely see my phone screen. Enough to know that I'm recording, but otherwise, holy shit. Okay. So, I am reading Alien Enemy. I haven't read that much. I just hit the power button. I haven't read that much of it recently. I have been having like the absolute worst sleep schedule recently, where I'm going to bed at like 3 a.m. and then waking up at 6. Why? Who knows? And then trying to get like little naps throughout the day, but it's not really working, and I don't know. But tonight I figured I was going to spend the night reading because I edited like 3 videos today. So I have enough for 3 days after today, and I was like, you know what? We're going to take a break day and we are going to read. So, reading Alien Enemy. I almost call it something else. And there's not too much that I can tell you guys about because this is mostly just the story of Chapman and all of the other girls figuring out like how they're going to exist in this world and surviving in this tribe. A lot of it that like we already knew that they were doing at the end of the first book, because Cece finally got back to them and they're like, hey, we've been living with these guys, you know? So it's like, I don't know how much of it I should tell you because it's things that we already know, but I'm currently around like 40% of the way through, and I'm in this scene right now, which is like dangerous, oh my god, where one of the girls who's like a side character, she might get her story later on, but like for right now she's a side character, she somehow went missing. Like how did you get here? But Chapman went off by herself to go and find her, and it turns out that she fell off of a cliff and now she's stuck in a ravine. She's on like this little tiny ledge, but then there's also like she could fall further down, and there is a giant pterodactyl creature that is trying to get her and eat her. So it's like a very suddenly high stress situation, especially because before this I was like, I don't know what I'm going to tell the vlog about, because this is just like the things that we already knew from book 1 of it's not like we're reading new information on how to survive, because the girls are being shown the same thing that Cece was shown in her book, you know? This is what food looks like. This is what drinks look like, because they don't have water. They live on a desert planet. This is how you clean yourself and like take a bath. But again, they don't have water, so I've been like, I don't know what to talk about, but now I'm like, oh my god. We have like plot. I'm very excited for this because, like, as we know, this is Chapman's story with Follow, who is the main bad guy of the first book. And so far there hasn't really been anything about him finding out that she is his mate, which I find really interesting because, like, eventually it's gonna happen, right? But so far it hasn't. And we just have like these kind of feelings, like interested, but they're like, no, I don't want to be. And so I'm excited to see the way that this develops. Anyway, Chapman is with the girl, trying to figure out how to get her up from this ravine because she's like 15 feet down and Chapman can't reach her. And Follow is like trying to figure out where these girls have gone, and it's like, if it were me, I would go to the cliffs because there's a lot of places that you can hide in there. And so he's like nearby, and I'm so excited to see how this plays out. But I thought that I would talk to you guys and let you know a little bit of an update because it's been a hot second. And I don't know, I'm getting really into the book, so I was like, let me take a second while I'm here, while I'm thinking about it, to talk to the camera before I just read the entire book without saying a single thing to the camera. Okay, 2 updates. It's been like 10 minutes, maybe. 1, in Chapman's point of view, she is talking about how like she is facing this pterodactyl bat creature thing. And she's like, damn, I really wish one of those alien guys were here. Like, I would take any of them, because so far she doesn't know Follow's name. I've been calling him Follow because I know that his name is Follow, but because of the language barrier, she has no idea who this guy is. And so she's just been calling him the enemy because, you know, it's called Alien Enemy. So Anyway, so she's like, damn, I wish any of those guys were here right now so that they'd, be able to save me or whatever. I'd even take the enemy. If the enemy appeared and saved me right now, I would kiss him on the mouth. I was like, damn, girl, tell me about it. And then he appears, and I'm like, ooh. So anyway, he saves her. I don't even think, like, technically speaking, I mean, okay, we got his point of view, so I know. He wasn't 100% sure that it was her, but he knows that he's looking for her because she went missing to find the other girl. But he wasn't sure if he found her or he found the other girl. Plot twist, they're both in the same area, one's just 15 feet underground. And then right now we're having a standoff where, like, I'm reading in his point of view, so I have no idea what she's thinking, but he's, like, going up to her and being like, what are you doing here? And he finds out that she had stolen one of his knives, and she's, like, pointing it at him, like, get away from me, which is, again, weird because she was just asking for one of the alien guys to be around so that they could save her from the pterodactyl thing. So I don't know what exactly is going on in her head. Plus also, like, she needs to help Girly Pop, who's 15 feet underground right now, right? But anyway, he's, thinking that she is threatening him. And so he comes up and hottest thing I've ever read a man do in my life. I don't know why. But oh my God, he, like, grabs the knife, grabs her wrists, and, the knife is in her hands, and he puts it, like, to his chest. Like, go ahead, stab me. Holy fuck. I don't know why, but damn. So I'm super excited. I haven't even read the conclusion to this scene yet. I just needed to turn on the camera and let you guys know that. So let me read a little bit more. Let me see what's going to happen. I'm excited though. Listen, Chapman. You said you were going to kiss him if he showed up. You gotta do it. You said. You promised. I am telling you every single detail of this scene because everything that I read just keeps getting better and better. So, girl stuck at the bottom of, not the bottom, like midway through a ravine, Chapman trying to save her. The enemy, Follow, finally shows up and, is trying to help. His idea of helping is to just jump down into the ravine. And Chapman's like, what the fuck? But the ravine is too narrow for him to, like, fall down, and so he just kind of, like, sticks himself there, but he's not quite down far enough that he can get the other. Should I name the other girl since we're talking about her so much? Her name's Teresa. He can't reach her. He's, like, too big to fit all the way down there, and so he reaches a hand up for Chapman, and Chapman's like, I guess. So she goes down there with them, and I don't fully understand how she gets herself in this situation, but I'm not going to ask questions. Basically, the way that she, like, lands down there with him is with her legs on on his shoulders, like she's, sitting on his shoulders, but like backwards. So it'd basically be like her stomach right in front of, like, his head. And so this scene, he groans, which is already funny enough, just imagining. And then he takes a big ass sniff. I have not read anything past that. He is all up in her business. And just takes a huge ass sniff. I love this book so much. Okay, not to be dramatic. Oh my god. The last thing that we talked about was how the girl was, like, in the ravine and whatever, so she's fine now. Listen, we got through that. there was a helicopter outside. I assume that you guys would have heard that like slowly getting louder and louder. I was like, really? What the hell? Sometimes when I'm editing my videos, I can hear this like rumbling going on. And I have yet to figure out what that sound is, because I would think that I would remember if there was a sound like that, but I don't until I hear it, you know, in the recording, and I'm like, what is that? I'm still trying to track that down and figure it out. Anyway, girl, Ravine, fine. We don't care about her anymore. What I do want to tell you guys, though, is that we have been doing really good at conversing with the aliens without any words. The latest thing that we learned is some names, of some of the side alien characters that we don't care about. One of the things, though, was that Chapman was asking, like saying, my name's Chapman, what's your guys' name? And one of the healers was like, oh, I forget her name. Who cares? This is Kala, because I can remember Kala, but I can't remember. It's like Brookili or something like that. I don't know. And that over there is Follow. And Chapman's like, I don't fucking care about him, but thank you. Anyway, so speaking of, before I get into this, you know how Cece, her name, they couldn't pronounce the like C sound, so her name in that was ZZ. Similar with Chapman, they can't quite get the ch, so her name's Catman now. Congratulations. Anyway, so I'm in the scene right now where they find out that since, you know, the girl had gone missing in the ravine and stuff, they put a guard to like watch the girls and make sure that they're all doing good. Chapman needs to go and like get clothes for everybody for unrelated reasons that I'm not going to talk about. Her clothes got ripped. That's all we're gonna say. And so she goes outside and the guard's like, hey, you're not allowed to be out here. Like, you have to stick with the group. And she tries to run away and the guard's like, no, you have to stick with the group. And so Chapman calls out Follow's name. And I love, like, I don't even know what to call this, just like the spoiledness of it, how like spoiled that sounds, that like she's not getting her way, and so she's like calling out to their leader and being like, hey, get this guy to listen to me. I haven't, you know, fully read this scene yet, because why would I? He comes running and he's so pissed at the guard for like daring to stop her, even though like he's a guard. I assume that Follows the one who put him there so that the girls would be like protected and make sure that they don't leave. Point is, I'm really enjoying this relationship dynamic. I'm so excited to see what happens next. I am not turning on that light thing again. Fuck that thing, it's so annoying. I hate looking at it. I'm in this scene. It's been like 2 minutes since the last time that we talked. I am really, like, every single time that I read a word, I turn on the camera. I am adoring this book so much. The Lavrika just popped up. That snake of soulmates, you know? Also at like one point it was described as like a dragon sort of creature, so honestly I don't know what it is. It just showed up and it's like on the very last paragraph of this page, so I was like, oh my god. Right now we are in a scene where Follow is in the middle of nowhere with only like one other person, one other of the like alien guys with him. And I'm so scared because at the end of the first book, it didn't seem like either Follow or Chapman knew that there was like any, like obviously they're mates, right? But it didn't seem like they knew. And I'm so scared right now that the Lavrika is going to go to the other guy and not Follow. I would be heartbroken. So we're gonna have like a live reaction sort of thing as I turn the page and read. It might take me a little bit though, because I don't know how fast it's going to come. Okay, oh my god. We are describing it. It pinned me with its knowing eyes, raising its great head from the sands. Then it turned and began slithering back towards the cliffs of Uruzai. It is here for follow, yes! Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What if it's not Chapman? No, it has to be. Don't say that, it has to be. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Okay, I have to read to you guys this part because I love it so much. Also, spoilers, but let's be honest, when have I not said a single spoiler in this entire video so far? Like, I'm just having a really fun time with the series, and so you're gonna hear me talk about spoilers. I'm trying not to. There are some things that I haven't told you that are like bigger things, but small details. Anyway, spoilers. Chapman does eventually do the whole like magic learning of language thing, which, as I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I understand. Anyway, so we get this scene where they're talking for the very first time. They've been talking for like a few pages, a hot second. Follow says, "You are making me weak and soft." Chapman says, "We have a saying like that where I come from. You make me a better person." Follow says, "I did not say better." Chapman says, "You didn't say it, but you meant it." And then, because this is a follow chapter, in his like point of view narration, he thinks, "I was not sure I liked being able to understand Chapman." I love that dynamic so much. Actually, it's good that she learned language because now I get to read their banter. Okay, so I just finished Alien Enemy. 5 stars. I loved this so much, and that's so crazy because when we were talking at the end of the first book, Alien Tyrant, I was like, Chapman and Follow, that would be like such a weird pairing, right? Like, it was like, really? First of all, because Chapman was sort of this character that it felt other. Like, we have all the girls, but then she was one of the like military people, so I didn't think that she was going to be included in the girls at all. And then Follow being the enemy, the villain of the first book, I was like, whoa, this seems, if anything, like it would be like the couple in the 20th book. Like, when we're starting to run out of ideas, this is what we're going to talk about. But no, it was really, really good. I really liked it a lot, despite the fact that at the beginning I was saying that it was a little bit weird that we were restarting from the beginning basically and telling the whole story. Not, the whole story, but the story from the point where they crashed to, the things that happen at the end of Alien Tyrant, just in Chapman's point of view. I understand it because there is a lot that we didn't know because we were in Cece's point of view and she was in, a whole different tribe. And like I said, I just really loved these two characters together. I really loved their dynamic and seeing it happen. I really was not expecting to like them as much as I do, but now I'm like, the series is over. Like, I'm never going to find another couple that I like as much as I like these two. So congratulations, it's all downhill from here. But I'm excited to get into the next book as well, because we should start getting further into the plot and like integration of everybody together. And also, if I see Chapman and Follow in the background of another book, I'm going to scream. Like, I love them so much. I want the entire rest of the series just to be about them. I want a side series that's just them. What would they be doing? I have no idea. But I want to read more of them. I want this book to be another, like, 100 pages just so I can read more about them. Damn it. But I looked it up. The next book, I'm looking to see where it is. The next book is Alien Orphan. I'm opening it as we speak. There we go. Alien Orphan. This is Melanie and Taliok's book. I'm excited to see Taliok's story because he seemed like such an interesting character. He seemed like the male character that I would like the most. So we'll have to see how he compares. And then Melanie's going to be really interesting because in Alien Enemy, she had like a little bit of some focus where they were talking about like, oh, do you ever think that the military is going to send another spaceship to come and find us? And it was in Chapman's point of view, and you know, Chapman being part of the military was like, if they do, it will probably be another group of researchers. They probably like assume that we're dead, and so we just have to wait and see until like researchers come and they try to decide what they want to do with us. But in the back of her mind, she's going, no, because if they send another mission out to us, part of their mission details would be to kill us. So like, it's probably not a good idea if the military sends more people. But she kept that silent, and Melanie in the background spoke up and was like, I don't think the military should come and pick us up. I don't want to go there ever again. They sent us here. I'm never going back ever again. And it was like, oh, interesting, Melanie. So I am excited to see how her character is going to go in this book, because she has so far been different from my expectations. So I'm gonna hop into this. I'm also trying to decide because I talked about Alien Enemy a lot. And I was just looking at the unedited footage and trying to get like a very quick amount of time that the video is so far, trying to judge. This clip right now is already 6 minutes long. It's like 30 minutes of unedited footage, and I'm like, maybe they should be separate videos, because if there's one thing that I know about myself is that I am a yapper, and especially when I'm really enjoying a book. We didn't even do any like vlog sort of things. We didn't talk about my day. We didn't like show any B-roll footage of me like reading the book. It was just straight me talking to the camera. I'm gonna make the decision. I am going to make the decision right now that we're gonna do one book a video, and maybe I'll do 2 videos a week. I don't know, but like this is getting a little bit too long and I don't want to have to edit. Let's say that this book is another 30 minutes of me blabbing about it, and then the next book after that, that's an hour and 30 minutes of me talking about 3 books. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here though, because I blabbed a lot. Really enjoyed Alien Enemy. Favorite book of the series, 5 stars, absolutely incredible. I'm obsessed with these 2 characters. I'm actually gonna take a pause before I start Alien Orphan, and I'm gonna see if there's any fan art on Tumblr. I'm gonna see if there's any like fandom sort of things. See what I can delve up. Hopefully there's like I wouldn't say a very large, but you know, there's at least a little bit of a fandom that I can look at. It's a really good book. I'm really excited to hop back into it. In the next video, I will be reading Alien Orphan. Excited to see how this one goes, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here for now. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed me just fully rambling, obsessively about Alien Enemy. What a book. Truly, I had the time of my life reading this, and I hope that you had a really good time watching me just be really excited and blab about a book. And I will see you in the next video for, like I said, Alien Orphan.